Stripe recurring payments. That is exactly what I have been asked so many times to record video tutorial about, and finally I have decided to create something even better. Basically, I'm going to create 3-part video series where not only I'm going to show you how to create Stripe recurring payments, but also I'm going to show you how to send immediately login details, how to create different accounts based on the purchased package, how to create a dashboard where someone will be able to log in and access only the part of the website that he purchased the subscription to, how to automatically extend the period based on did they renew the subscription or not, and a lot more. So before we actually start with this video, I just want to quickly explain you the basics that you need to understand so that you actually know what you are going to accomplish in this particular part. So first thing that you are going to create is pricing page. So let's say this is, no, we can actually make it bigger. So this is some page. On this page we are going to create 3 different packages, and pretty much each of them will look the same. So at the top we will have the price. Okay, now here we are going to have some futures, and then down below we will have one button that is actually the button from the Stripe, and someone when click here he will be able to purchase something. Now the next thing that we need to create is payment process page. So payment process.php file. Okay, now after this file we will actually use to create the customer inside the Stripe. After that we will also create subscription for that customer, and then what we are going to do, we will create a new account and store it in the database, if this looks like database, and then we will send an email to the customer, and also we are going to redirect person to the thank you page. Okay, so this is our thank you page. So now once we accomplish all of this, it will mean that person will be able to log into his dashboard with the login details that we have sent here inside the email, and also we will be able to create the dashboard and show different options inside the website based on the data that we have inside the database. But also here on the Stripe, because we have subscription, Stripe will be able to actually every month or every week, every day, whatever the subscription model you have, will be able to charge this customer again. And based on that, we will actually later create one additional page. I will say Stripe renew PHP. Okay, and then in this file we will be able to manage the subscription of this customer. So let's start writing the code. So now once we understand the concept and know how everything is going to work, let's now quickly to create the pricing page. So first I will just create a normal HTML document, and for those of you that feel that this is like under your niveau or that this is like very boring, just skip few minutes ahead. And for the others, I think this will be very useful because I'm going to show the basics of the Bootstrap design here. But of course, for those of you that really want in-depth course, not only about the Bootstrap, but also about JavaScript and jQuery, PHP and MySQL, how to create content management system, and so much more, make sure that you check out my course. So first thing is I'm going just to include the Bootstrap library. So I'm not going to download, I will just use their CDN link. Okay, and I will paste it just after the title tag, and then here I will just say I want one div with class container. Inside that one I want one row, and then inside that one I also want one with column that is size 4. And for those of you that follow my course, you know already what am I talking about. Okay, so here I'm just going to create one card, and that card will have card header, then it will have one card body, and it will have card footer. Okay, so in the header I will just display the price of this product, whatever the package is that you have. So let's say it will be 67 bucks. In the card body I will just say it will be some name of the product. So let's say product number 1. Maybe we can use like H1, so it's big. And then here we will have some list. So let's say okay, with some futures. Okay, like future 2, future 3, etc. And in the footer we will have the button that we will get from the Stripe. So let's see what we have so far. When I reload, this is how it looks like. So maybe let's quickly modify a little bit design. So what I will say, let's say container, I will set, or maybe we can just do it here. Okay, and then here I will say that container will have margin term set to the 100 pixels. Then let's say that each card will be 300 pixels. Then on the hover of the card, maybe it will be useful if we say there will be some transform. Let's say we will scale just a little bit, and then we can maybe add some transition. Let's say all.3s, maybe easy in out. Okay, and then I will just remove this quickly. So what else we can do is to maybe make this price big. So let's say here I will say we'll have one h2 class price, sorry, and then here we will set one span, let's say currency. Okay, so we'll have $sign here, and here we will close h2. Okay, so let's say price will be maybe something big like 72 pixels, and the currency will be let's say 25 pixels, and then position needs to be relative, and then we can maybe set margin top minus 30 pixels. Okay, let's see what we have. Reload. Okay, it looks better. So maybe this should be only set to the top. So let me see, like this. Okay, so you can see what am I working. So maybe if I remove this and set top, yeah, cool. So, and then let's grow item. It will be useful if there is no border, and if we have some padding, maybe 5 pixels. And then I will say that here card header will be in the center, and this one will be in the center. So let's see. Okay, cool. So this looks pretty nice. With hover we have a small effect, and that's it. And now if we want to have more of those, we just need to duplicate this. So I'll say like this. Now we should have 3 different options. Okay, and now of course we could use PHP or even JavaScript to create this dynamically, so that each time we append more and more products, if we're getting those from the database, but this tutorial will be so huge, so I'm not going to show that, but I'm showing that in my course. So let's leave this as is for now, and now let's get the button from the Stripe. Now in my previous tutorials, whenever I show something, it will happen that after a few months there is some change in the documentation, especially with Stripe. So after that, that tutorial is not good enough anymore, and people don't understand how it's working. So I have decided that this time I will just go through the documentation and show you actually also how to use documentation, so that if there is any change, you can quickly just see what is the change and how you can apply it and still use the tutorial. And I think that will be very useful for all of you, because you are not only learning how to create Stripe payments, but also how to use the documentation they have. So here, when you open Stripe docs, you just need to go to the billing, no, payments, and then checkout, and then here they will explain to you how you can use. So here they say that all you need to do is to use this form, so I will just do that and paste it in the footer, and let's see what will happen. Okay, as you can see now they have created this card, this button, and when I click there, this small pop-up will be there, which is amazing. So what we can do, maybe just center this, so I'll just say text center. Not sure will it work with text, but it should. Yes, it works. Okay, and then now here we just need to change the action, so I will just do that. I will say we will have one file, let's say payment process.php, and then to that file I will through get method pass the variables. So let's say id is equal package1 or product1 or product whatever you want, can be maybe product id equal 1. Okay, and now I will just grab this and put it down below to other two. So this will be product ID 3 and then product ID 2. So let's say product ID 1, as you can see here, we are able to change the amount. And before that, you can see now that data key is already generated for me, and it can happen that you will not have one, and all you need to do is actually to first log into your Stripe account, and then after that visit the documentations again, and they will fill out for you this code and implement the key. So as you can see, when I hover with the mouse here, it says that this is your test publishable API key, and if you don't have one, you can also go to the developers API keys, and here you will have. I have two different, but maybe you will have just one, and whichever you use, it will be completely fine. So after that, we need to specify the amount. So let's say here, I will just say the first one will be 27, and there's also currency, and since my Stripe account is using euros, I will use that one, but you can change it just to USD or whatever is on your side. So I will go to the next one. Let's say this one will be 67 and the last one will be 97. But Now the problem is that they are looking for amount in cents, so you just need to multiply whatever the price you want with 100, okay, which means we can just do it like this, and I will just do it here and we'll do it here, okay, and we can test that. Okay, reload. This one is 27 euros. Okay, this one is 67, and then this one is, sometimes it's a little bit slow when you go through different packets because of the stripe, but nothing special. Okay, and then let's just change the price. So this one is 67, we have this one 97. Maybe it will be useful if I put here actually euro sign, just for the consistency, but it's not that much important in this tutorial, right? So let's see. Yeah, it looks good now. Okay, so now for us, in order to be able to actually use, this is just to put the credit card details, so the Stripe will verify, but they will just generate token and send to our server, and then from there we are able to actually create the real subscription. So what we actually need to do is to go inside our Stripe account, we need to go to the billing, and then here we have products. So I will go to the products, and this is some that I have already, but let's say I will just create a new one for this tutorial. And here you can specify any product name. So maybe I can say like 27 bucks subscription. Okay, and that's enough. Okay, and here we can say what will be the nickname of this. We can also put some ID if you want custom, but let's say I will leave it to them. And then here are all the settings that you need to know. So you can say, does it have multiple price tiers based on quantity? No. What is the price per unit? I will say 27. Okay, what is the billing interval? So I will just say monthly, but you can actually say here custom and then specify whatever you want. Okay, and that is basically that Stripe will actually, for example, if I say here monthly, they will they will each month try to charge the customer's card with the amount that is set here for the price per unit. And then here we can specify if we want to give some trial period. For example, usually for the software is 14 days, that converts the best, but it's all on you. And for our case, I will just set it to the 0. And that's it. So I will set add pricing plan. Okay, and now we need to do the same process for the other two as well, but I'm just not going to do it here to not waste your time, but it's the same process. So I have just set for this one. Okay, so now the next thing that we need to do is, if we check this documentation, they say that we need to have some server-side code, and I will just go here for the PHP. And now first thing that we need to do is to add and include the Stripe PHP library. And for those of you that are experienced, you can just use Composer, and that's something that I will use. But I know that a lot of people who will watch this video don't know what is the Composer, and I will not go into that. I'll probably have another tutorial to explain only that, but for this one I will just show you how you can download the source directly. Okay, and we'll show you how to use it. So Stripe, let me just find it. So it looks, it's here, okay, and I will just save it. Then I will go to that folder, extract everything, and I can delete just this library. Okay, and now the next thing that we need to do, if we follow the documentation, okay, they say just that we need to include it and then implement this code here, which basically means they are just setting just in the variable Stripe the secret key and publishable key, and then they are just initializing the Stripe API, nothing special here. So also they will pre-fill the data with your secret and publishable key, which is pretty much useful. Okay, so now I will just go here and create new PHP, let's say process file, paste everything, you just zoom in. Okay, and since we don't have this vendor because we didn't install with Composer, we will just include it from our, and it's called init PHP. Okay, and pretty much that's it. Now the next thing after we have done this, we need actually to get with, sorry, it's here. We need to get the Stripe token and Stripe email from this here. So basically they will get the email and the token that they will create and will send to this file. So I will just grab it from here, and as you can see here they also create a customer. So let's use that. Okay, here. So the best option will be also to sanitize those inputs, but we will do this before we actually store in the database. But for now, we don't need to. And basically this part here will just create a customer on the Stripe, but it will not create a subscription to our plan. So what we need to do is actually first I will just get product ID, he's here. Okay, also it will be useful if you actually check does those three variables exist or not. Okay, but I will leave it to you. And then now if we create customer, now for that customer we need to subscribe to some plan, and how we are going to do this. So I will just again show you inside the docs. Basically here in the Stripe API you just need to find subscriptions, which is here, and then you need to learn how to create a subscription. And from the right side here you have explanation and example. So we have already this part, we have set the API key. Now let's just set and create the subscription. Okay, so I will add it here. And now we need to have the customer ID. We will get it here. So I will just use that and say customer ID. Okay, and now here we need to specify to which plan we want to subscribe this customer, and that ID we will find here. When you go, let's go again, products, your subscription, pricing plan, and then you can see here that plan ID. Okay, and I guess they will just pre-fill this for you. Yes, it's same. Cool. And here for the items you have also some additional options that you can use, and here is the explanation, and that's why I want that you actually learn how to use documentation. Basically you can set when it will stop this subscription, how many days of trial, etc, etc. So all of that is explained here, but for now we just need to subscribe this person. And let's save and let's make a test. Let's see what we have so far, and if everything is good we will move. So I'll go to pay with card, let's say my email or whatever it is. I have typo, this is test card, okay, whatever, pay, sales good, and here they say we don't have payment process. So okay, so the problem is in the name. Okay, it happens. Okay, let's try again. Continue. Okay, so it's empty page, there isn't any error. Let's see what we have here. So there is a new customer. When you open that one, it actually shows that we have one active subscription. The product is 27 subscription, which is correct. Auto billing status active. Amazing. As you can see, there's also already first charge that has happened, and that's explained here, which is amazing and exactly what we want. So now once we have done this, the next thing that we need to do is actually to redirect this customer to some thank you page to actually show him that everything is okay, that we have processed payment, that he is subscribed, and that every month we will charge him. And then also we should send a login details to his email, and also we should create a small dashboard where actually that person will be able to access only the things that he was purchased based on which product did he choose. And that is exactly what am I going to show you in the part 2 of this mini course here. So I will see you in the next one.